Fort Ticonderoga. We are the fifes and drums of the 26th Regiment of Foot that was stationed here at Fort Ticonderoga in 1774 under the command of Captain William Delaplace. Now, this 26th Regiment of Foot was nicknamed the Cameronians to help highlight their Scottish heritage, as these are lowland Scots within the British Army. Now, not only did they have that nickname, they also played a specific set of duties different from the rest of the British Army. So they would play something called the Scotch duty to regulate the daily lives of soldiers within the encampment. Now, when you guys think of a British soldier, what color uniform are they wearing? What do you guys think?
Red.
Red, right? You turn around, you see that soldier right there? He's wearing red. So the regular enlisted men of this regiment are wearing red with these yellow facings, the cuffs and lapels. But us, we're not wearing red, are we? Well,
No.
our cuffs and lapels are, and that is because it is tradition in the British Army throughout the 18th century for the musicians of these regiments to wear the reverse colors of the regiment. So we wear these very nice yellow coats with red cuffs and lapels, and drummers lacing all around. Another very ornate part of our uniform are our hats, which we have 3 of. The first of which is what you see on our heads today. These tall bearskin caps, which you guys usually associate with the grenadier, they would have one of these. And this is also assigned to the drummers within the regiment for their formal affairs and performances. And they also would have a cocked hat, which is kind of what you usually associate with 18th century military for daily uses. And then a wool foraging cap, which is used to sleep in as well as doing their daily duties. Now, the most important part of these soldiers' uniforms, or the drummers' uniforms in specific, are the instruments that they use. Now, the first instrument is the drum, which starts out as a sheet of wood that is steamed, bent, and turned round into place with nails set to hold the wood. On either end, there are 2 wooden hoops, which hold down these calf or goat skin heads like we found on both ends of the drum. Now, between those wooden hoops, about 35 feet of hemp rope that is woven between with these leather ears or tongues that are used to increase and decrease tension on the heads. Now, on the bottom of the drum, you will find the catgut snare, not actually made of catgut, but the intestine of livestock. And this is the sounding mechanism of the drum. So when a drummer strikes the top end of the drum, air reverberates on the inside, snapping up against those chords, creating the very martially sound we know today. Now, the other instrument that was used was the fife, which starts out as a plaque of wood that is turned round and hollowed out on the lathe, with 6 finger holes and 1 mouth hole drilled in, and 2 brass barrels on either end to keep the wood from splitting. There is also a cork set behind the mouthpiece to stop the air from flowing leftward, and as a fifer blows over the top hole of the fife, a column of air is created as it vibrates through, and as a fifer can change their fingers, can change the pitch of that vibrating column. And a skilled fifer can use upwards of 2 octaves of notes. Reform. Now, here in 1774, the 26th Regiment only consisted of about 29 men in the company that was here. It's a very small guard, but each of the 10 companies of the 26th Regiment of Foot were allotted 1 drummer, besides 2 very special companies, the first of which being the Light Infantry Company, which were allotted 2 fifers. This is a bit difficult to run around in the woods, lugging around this thing, a bit easier using one of those fifes. And another company, which I had mentioned just a bit ago, the Grenadier Company, an elite fighting force that were the first into battle. They were also allotted 2 fifers. Now, this elite company also had their own song named after them that they would use on the march, whereas all other companies within the regiment would have to use an alternative cadence. And this song is called the Grenadier's March. Take care. Beat the Grenadier's March. And beat. in the Army called a pioneer. These are strong, well-set men that have the explicit duty of mending roads on the march, preparing latrines, and fixing large fortifications. Now this song, The Pioneer, or the Fatigues March, told all soldiers, not just the pioneers, there was time to get to work for their day, doing their various duties within the camp.
Take care. Beat the Pioneers March. And beat.
Now, you can imagine the soldiers might not have been the happiest to hear that song, but they might have been a little more joyful to hear the song, The Retreat Being Beaten. This told the soldiers it was time to end the work for the day and come back within the walls of the fort so that roll call could be taken and the guard and duties for the next day.